It's Thursday evening. The rest of the world is never going to forgive us for this. The rest of the world is never, ever going to forgive the United States of America for re-electing a man who everybody who voted for him knew was a convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, a fraudster, 34 felony counts, convicted for trying to improperly influence the 2016 election. He tried to overturn the 2020 election and incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol and went on to be indicted 91 times in 4 separate jurisdictions. And the mouth-breathing, fart-huffing dipshits in this country, 77 million of them, re-elected him as President of the United States. And now he is on the cusp of destroying the entire global economy for everybody. Because he and Pete Hegseth wanted to blow some shit up and for Bibi Netanyahu. The rest of the world is never going to forgive us for this, ever. Nor should they.
So I asked, will the rest of the world ever forgive us for electing someone like Donald Trump? Japan. Not a chance. Trump is just the symptom. From now on, any long-term deal with the United States needs a moron premium in case you elect someone even worse in the future. Netherlands. It's not just Trump. There are 75 million of him that can't be trusted. It will take generations if it is ever restored. France. It's not so much just the election, it's everything that wasn't done to stop him. The United States is lawless. Owie. Remember that the question was, would the world forgive us? Great Britain says, sure, as quick as the rest of the world forgave Germany in 1941. France. U.S. today reminds one of the crumbling empires before the world wars. Arrogant, deaf to the world's anger, convinced of their own invincibility. History doesn't lie. Empires fall, and it's never the outsiders who bring them down first. It's the rot inside. America should stop blaming everyone else and start taking a long, hard look in the mirror.
Now, sometimes back we used to say that America is not a good country, and forgiving them is not easy because of the atrocities they happened or they did to the black race during slavery period. That is making blacks work in their farms for longest time without pay, with harsh and cruel conditions. And lately, this hate on America and unforgiveness mindset is increasing because Trump is also advancing imperialism of American state on other countries. He wants to have a whole control of other sovereignty. So I want you to continue watching how people talk about this, and let's have a comment in the end. If you're watching us for the first time, do not forget to subscribe to this our channel, because that is how we interact. Let's watch.
People all around the world are absolutely hating Americans right now. More specifically, they're hating who's in charge, but there is a trickle-down effect to those who voted for Trump. There are so many people in this country that don't realize we are not viewed favorably. We are not the golden children that you think that we are. The rest of the world is moving on without us. The rest of the world is finding other allies and finding other resources. Many of you keep doubling and tripling down on what the Trump administration is currently doing, but there are many of us that can see clearly that we are losing our allies right and left. Have you had a conversation with a Canadian lately? I understand that many of you voted for this, and this is exactly what you want. But there are plenty of us that are not okay with the way things are going right now. And we understand why the rest of the world is fed up with us.
I made a video about how tourism is way down because of Trump, and specifically about how it is affecting Atlanta with the World Cup coming. And it made it onto global TikTok, which I'm so glad about. So most of the comments are from people that are not American. So watch that video and read through the comments, because if you are an American that is stuck in like the bubble of America and our media and what we see and whatever, and you don't have any international friends, or you've never lived outside the United States, it's super easy to not understand what we look like to the rest of the world. And I know that you might hear like liberals or people on the left saying this, but if you want to read it for yourself, go read through the comments and you will see the rest of the world fucking hates us. And I don't blame them at all. And they are saying the most rational, real, straight to the point things that a lot of Americans don't want to admit. Some of us do. I do on my platform all the time, but a lot of everyday, normal, average citizens in America don't want to admit how bad it is. And when you hear it from people outside of America, they don't need to sugarcoat it, right? Because they're just facts, and they don't have a dog in the fight, because they're not like a Democrat or a Republican. They're not left or right. They don't participate in our politics. They don't even really understand what each political party stands for or anything. Most of them don't even really know. So it's a very unbiased opinion. It's very interesting. Go read through the comments. The rest of the world fucking hates us. And that is a problem for foreign relations. It's a problem because most of these countries are our allies. So anytime we ever have any trouble with terrorism or anything, like we're alienating our allies. And it's also a problem economically, because you'll see all of them in the comments being like, yeah, I used to come to America a couple times a year and I'm not doing that now. Like we're fucked. Go read those comments. It's interesting.
Let me just get this straight. After bullying and blackmailing every single country around the world with your illegal tariffs, now you're expecting them to all come to your aid in the Strait of Hormuz to unblock it, because the war with Iran has made gas prices go up and the American stock market crash, and all of our allies are refusing to help you, and you want to know why?
So this message will be very tough for Americans, MAGA Republicans. This is going to be really hard for you to hear, because what you've been told is a lie. The United States of America is the most disrespected country in the entire world. And his name is Donald Trump.
I made a video yesterday about how the rest of the world is viewing America. And when I say America, I mean the United States of America in current day. In reading through all of these comments, it is so astounding how there are things that people are commenting in these videos that I didn't even know was happening. And I think that is the scary part, is we know that we're being censored, but we don't even realize how much we're actually being censored, to the point where if people want to come into our country, they have to give up the last 5 years of their social media and emails to see if they are anti-Trump. That is dictatorship. That is fascism. And I made this video because there are so many people who have been brainwashed, and I'm not trying to say that in a mean way, but they have been brainwashed to think that other countries now fear us, and they fear Trump, so they respect us, and they do not. They fear for us. They feel bad for us. They think we're a laughing stock. They now think that we are a third world country between gun violence, healthcare, maternity leave, free speech, the food that we eat. The list could go on. And I wanted to make this video in hopes that people who have learned to trust Trump, unfortunately, can learn that if the entire rest of the world is talking about how our country is truly not great and we are headed towards a very, very dangerous time, as if we're not already in it, maybe it's time to take a hard look at where you think and switch gears. It is okay to change your mind and to see these things and to say, you know what, this has gone too far. It's okay to be late, but please take a hard look at yourself and think about where you stand.
I don't think Americans in the United States realize how the rest of the world sees us. Let me give you an example. A while back, I was having a conversation with my friend. Now, my friend lives here in Mexico. She's Mexican, and her daughter was going to study in the United States, or thinking about going to study in the United States for university. And she was saying to me how worried she was for her daughter to go study in the US because it is so dangerous. She was like, I don't know, there's so much gun violence. I don't know if it's safe. I was saying to her, you should be fine, avoid these places at night, avoid these cities. And then as I was saying it, it hit me. As a US citizen that lives in Mexico, this is something that I hear all the time about going to Mexico. People will say to me, I don't like you going to Mexico, it's so dangerous. Did you see the news? But the same exact thing is being said and happening about people going to visit the United States, especially right now. Growing up, we're so indoctrinated to believe that we are so lucky to be born in the United States, this place where only we have freedoms and safety. But from the outside looking in, it's completely different. People see mass shootings, gun violence, police violence, and now a government restricting rights. And they worry for their people going to visit the United States.
The president of Germany thinks that the United States is destroying the global order. To be clear, the leader of the state that is responsible for 2 world wars in 1 century says that we are a threat to the global order. If anyone knows what that looks like, it's Germany. This isn't coming from a political commentator. This is coming from the head of Germany, a nation that has lived through catastrophic consequences due to nationalism and power grabs and the collapse of international norms twice. So when the president of Germany says that the United States is disrupting the world order, we need to take it seriously. This isn't just anti-American, it's a goddamn warning flare. And it doesn't just happen overnight. It's one thing after another. And the president is causing chaos all over the globe. And now we have Denmark saying that they will hit first and ask questions later, which I don't really blame them for. So now it's just a question of whether the United States will remain a stabilizing democracy or whether we will continue to cause increasing havoc all over the globe. Pay attention, because things are troublesome right now.
So it is true that Trump, in his leadership, is regarded as one of the worst presidents of the United States. This is because of the policies he has brought along. This is because of his kind of leadership, the way he wants to dictate on issues that touches on global economy. And most concerning is how he has affected the overall global economy, right from interfering with the fuel prices and energy to even venturing into activities that are so much exploitative on resources that belong to other countries. For instance, in Congo, Trump has led a massive exploitation. We call it robbery. It's like a robbery with violence because it's taken forcefully. Trump has sponsored troops that pretend to bring peace in the country, but in real sense, this is a way of mining resources that belong to the country. Also in Iran, he has a big interest, and the interest is on oil because that is a large oil exporting country. So Trump wanted to enter into a deal with Iran, but the supreme leader, Ayatollah, refused his proposal because that was a show of dictatorship. And this trend is going on and on, with Syria being also affected. Another country like Ukraine, you saw Zelensky walking out of the Oval Office because of the kinds of conditions that Donald Trump placed on the table. He's never honest with the kind of deals he wants to strike with these countries. All he wants is total exploitation. That is why he has brought this narrative and slogan of making America great again to brainwash the people that this is he is doing this because of the interest of Americans. But in real sense, he's a dealer, he's never a leader. Let's see what you have to say about this. Hit our comment section and tell us if this is the right argument we bring across. Also, if you're watching us for the first time, do not forget to subscribe to this our great channel. Thank you, and may God bless you.